For weeks, winter has been missing from the western United States, leaving a region that usually relies on snow and rain in a state of uneasy anticipation. The absence of winter's touch is more than just a curiosity. It's a growing concern for millions who depend on the seasonal cycle for water, recreation, and even their livelihoods. From the air, the landscape tells a stark story. Satellite images reveal vast stretches of land with barely a trace of snow where white should dominate the scene. Rivers and lakes that depend on winter runoff are already showing signs of stress, and the parched earth is a warning of what could come if the pattern continues. Instead of snow and cold, states like California, Utah, and Arizona have seen persistent warmth and almost no precipitation. Cities that usually bundle up for chilly mornings are experiencing spring-like afternoons, and the desert heat is creeping in months ahead of schedule. The lack of rain and snow is not just unusual, it's historic, breaking records across the region. Mountains that should be white are brown, ski resorts are struggling, and temperatures have soared into the 70s, 80s, even near 90 degrees in Southern California. Resorts that depend on winter tourism are facing empty slopes and dwindling reservations, while local businesses brace for economic fallout. The warmth is so persistent that even longtime residents are stunned by the change. The storms that usually bring rain and snow have vanished, creating a critical snow drought. Rivers that should be swelling with fresh meltwater are running low, and the land is thirsty. Without these vital storms, the entire ecosystem, from forests to farms, faces mounting pressure. This snowpack is vital. It's the region's natural water reservoir for the dry months ahead. As it melts, it feeds rivers, fills reservoirs, and sustains agriculture and communities throughout the year. Without it, water shortages could become severe, impacting everything from drinking water supplies to the food on our tables. The culprit, a massive, stubborn, high-pressure system, has blocked storms, leaving the West dry and warm. This atmospheric roadblock has lingered for weeks, diverting moisture north and east, and creating a dome of clear skies and unseasonable heat. Meteorologists call it a ridge, and it's proving remarkably resilient. Residents and meteorologists alike are anxious, waiting for winter to return and restore the balance. Farmers worry about their crops, city officials monitor water reserves, and families wonder if their favorite winter activities will be possible this year. The uncertainty is palpable, and every day without change adds to the tension. But there's hope. Recent shifts in the atmosphere suggest the pattern may finally be breaking down. Meteorologists are tracking subtle changes in the jet stream and watching as clouds begin to gather on the horizon. The first hints of a new weather system are appearing, bringing cautious optimism to a region desperate for relief. A dramatic return to winter weather may be just around the corner. If the storms arrive, they could replenish the snowpack, revive rivers, and bring much-needed moisture to the land. For now, all eyes are on the sky, waiting for the first flakes to fall, and for the West to finally reclaim its winter. The jet stream, a fast-moving river of air high above the Earth's surface, acts as a powerful steering current for our weather. It's responsible for guiding storms, shaping temperature patterns, and determining which regions get drenched with rain or baked in sunshine. When the jet stream flows smoothly from west to east, weather systems move along in a predictable rhythm. But sometimes, this river of air takes a dramatic turn, and that's exactly what's been happening over the western United States. For the past month, the jet stream has buckled, forming a massive ridge, a kind of atmospheric wall over the west. This ridge acts like a barrier, blocking the usual parade of Pacific storms and forcing them to detour far to the north, away from California, Oregon, and much of the interior west. Instead of bringing much-needed rain and snow, these storms have been shunted toward Canada and the northern plains. Under this stubborn high-pressure ridge, the skies have stayed relentlessly clear. Day after day, the sun blazes down and the air remains dry. Without the lift and moisture that storms provide, clouds struggle to form, leaving the landscape exposed to unfiltered sunlight. The result? The West has been stuck under what feels like an atmospheric heat lamp. Mild, dry days have become the norm, and the land is parched. Grasslands, forests, and farmlands are all feeling the effects of this prolonged dry spell, with little relief in sight. With the jet stream's blockade in place, cold Arctic air has been unable to push southward. Instead, temperatures have soared well above average for this time of year. Thermometers across the region have been setting records, and the warmth has lingered far longer than usual, making it feel more like late spring than winter. This blocking pattern isn't just a local phenomenon. It stretches from Washington all the way down to Arizona, impacting millions of people and vast stretches of land. The entire western United States has been caught in this unusual weather grip, as if the atmosphere itself decided to take a break and bask in the sun. The consequences are clear: a month-long drought of rain, snow, and cold. Rivers are running low, mountain snowpacks are shrinking, and the risk of wildfires is creeping up even in the heart of winter. Farmers, ranchers, and city dwellers alike are watching the skies, hoping for a change. While patterns like this have happened before, the sheer strength and persistence of this ridge are remarkable. Meteorologists are calling it one of the most stubborn atmospheric blocks in recent memory, and it's making headlines across the region. But even the strongest atmospheric roadblocks eventually break down. The weather is always changing, and no pattern lasts forever. Subtle shifts in the jet stream are already being detected, hinting that relief may be on the horizon. Forecasters now see clear signs that the ridge is weakening. As the jet stream begins to shift, the door is opening for storms to return, bringing the promise of rain, snow, and cooler air to the parched west. This winter, the U.S. has been split in two. The west is warm and dry, while the east has faced harsh winter. The same jet stream ridge over the west created a deep trough in the east, letting Arctic air plunge south. As Los Angeles basked in 80-degree weather, the east bundled up against snow and ice. Some places in Florida even saw more snow than Salt Lake City, a bizarre twist. The persistent pattern locked the west in sunshine and the east in storms. It's a reminder that weather is interconnected. The same forces causing a blizzard in Boston can bring record warmth to Denver. Now, as the pattern breaks down, both coasts are set for a major shift. The west is finally about to get its turn for real winter. The snow drought in the interior west is severe. Salt Lake City, which should have over 30 inches of snow by February, has barely a dusting, less than some towns in Florida. Flagstaff, Arizona, and Lander, Wyoming, are also seeing only a fraction of their normal snowfall. The Sierra Nevada, California's water lifeline, has gone 5 weeks with almost no new snow. This snowpack is crucial. It melts to supply water for millions and for agriculture. Low snow now means possible water shortages later. The lack of snow is more than a disappointment for skiers. It's an environmental and economic crisis. The snowpack dictates water, wildfire risk, and local economies. These record low numbers are a stark warning. The upcoming weather shift is critical for the region's sustainability. After a month of stillness, the Pacific is finally stirring. The high-pressure wall is breaking down, and meteorologists are confident a major shift is coming. Storms are set to return to the west, ending the dry spell and bringing much-needed rain and snow. The transition will be gradual, but it's a decisive move from dry and warm to wet and wintry. The first storm is expected this weekend, breaking the pattern and opening the door for more. This marks the end of the atmospheric blockade and the start of a series of storms. Water managers, farmers, and residents are all watching with anticipation. The West is on the verge of a dramatic return to winter. The first impacts of this winter weather system will be felt across the Pacific Northwest. Residents in Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and Montana should prepare for a mix of steady rain in the lowlands and accumulating snow in the higher elevations. As the storm system pushes inland, expect wet commutes, slick roads, and reduced visibility, especially in the mountain passes. For those living in valleys, rain will be persistent, while the mountains will quickly turn white as snow begins to pile up. The Washington Cascades, in particular, are set to receive a fresh blanket of powder. This will be great news for skiers and snowboarders, but it also means travel conditions will deteriorate rapidly. Drivers should be ready for icy roads, chain requirements, and possible delays as snowplows work to keep the passes open. If you're planning to travel through the mountains, check conditions before you go and be prepared for winter hazards. Looking further south, a much larger and more powerful storm is forecast to arrive in California by mid-month. This system could bring heavy rain to the valleys and major snow accumulations to the Sierra Nevada. The potential for blizzard conditions is real, with strong winds and whiteout visibility possible at higher elevations. This storm could be one of the most significant of the season so far. The Sierra Nevada snowpack, which is vital for California's water supply, has been running below average. This upcoming storm could finally start to rebuild that crucial snowpack, bringing hope for improved water resources in the spring. Deep snow accumulation will be measured, and the mountains will once again be draped in white, a welcome sight for both recreation and water management. As the storm system moves eastward, it won't just stop at California. Utah, Arizona, and Colorado are also in line for significant snowfall, especially in the higher terrain. The Rockies and the Southwest Mountains will see winter weather advisories, and ski resorts could benefit from a fresh round of snow. This widespread precipitation will help replenish snowpacks across the region. Along with the precipitation, a sharp drop in temperatures is expected across the West. After weeks of unusually warm weather, residents will notice a dramatic shift as cold air sweeps in. Frosty mornings, icy windshields, and the return of winter coats will mark the end of the record warmth that's lingered into the season. Even Southern California, which has enjoyed sunny skies and 80-degree days, will see a big change. Cooler, wetter weather is on the way, with rain showers and cloudy skies replacing the recent warmth. Residents should be ready for wet commutes and the return of umbrellas to city streets. At first, snow levels may remain high, meaning only the tallest peaks will see snow, while lower elevations get rain. But as colder air settles in, the snow line will drop, and more mountains across the West will transition from rain to snow. This shift will be crucial for building up the snowpack in areas that have missed out so far this season. The transition will be dynamic, with rapidly changing conditions and active weather patterns sweeping across the region. From rain to snow, from warmth to cold, the West is finally returning to a more typical, active winter pattern. This means more frequent storms, shifting weather, and a landscape that's constantly changing. For a region that's been parched by drought and unseasonably warm temperatures, this change brings much-needed relief. Rivers and reservoirs will begin to refill, hillsides will turn green, and the landscape will start to recover. While challenges remain, the return of winter weather is a hopeful sign for the months ahead. The return of rain and snow is good news, but it brings risks. After a long, dry spell, the ground can absorb water quickly, raising the threat of flash flooding, especially in wildfire-scarred areas. The same storms that bring snow to the mountains could cause heavy rain and flooding in California and the Southwest. Emergency managers and residents must stay alert as the weather shifts. Mountain passes will become snowy and icy, requiring drivers to prepare for winter travel again. Major highways like I-80 and I-70 will likely be impacted. Despite these hazards, the benefits outweigh the risks. The key is preparation and awareness as the West transitions back to winter. This marks a crucial turning point, moving from drought concerns to more familiar winter challenges. The dry spell has led to poor air quality across much of the West. High pressure trapped pollutants and haze, especially in valleys like California's Central Valley and Salt Lake City. Without storms, pollution built up, creating unhealthy conditions. The arrival of storms will finally break up the stagnant air, clearing out pollutants. Rain and snow will wash away particulates, leaving the air fresh and clean. For many, the first sign of change will be clear blue skies and visible mountains. Improved air quality will be a huge public health benefit. The storms will provide a much-needed atmospheric reset. Relief and anticipation are building as the West's dry spell ends. The return of storms means replenished water supplies, cleaner air, and revived winter economies. This shift is a powerful reminder of how the jet stream shapes our lives. The past month showed the risks of a stalled pattern. Now, the atmosphere is swinging back to normal. The coming weeks are critical. New storms will help rebuild the snowpack and ease deficits. While it won't solve everything, it's a vital step forward. Fresh snow and rain will be celebrated across the region. Nature is rebalancing, bringing back the cold and moisture the West needs. Winter is finally returning, just in time.